I get asked this question all the time. People message me and say, hey, I've acquired all this kit over the past year or so. I've set it up in the best way that I know how, but it still doesn't look great. I haven't scrimped, I've bought the best kit on the market, but I still can't get the image that I'm looking for. Well, in today's video, I'm going to take you step by step, my process of how I set up my lights and the order that I set them up in, and hopefully that'll help you make better videos. So the biggest mistake that I see people making is they won't set up their key light first. A key light is the main source of light on your subject, usually going to be you if you're filming yourself. They'll dress the room with other lights before attempting to get the right exposure with their key light. So in my opinion, this is totally backwards. What I do is I make sure I have a completely blank slate. No lights whatsoever in my scene. Complete darkness. And the first thing I like to do is set up my key light. That way you can catch any problems straight off the bat. You need to make sure it's at the right power, you need to make sure it's in the right position, and you need to check what that light looks like before you go any further. Having a key light in the wrong position and set at the wrong power is just going to make your life so much harder down the line. So let's just touch on camera settings. I'll always be shooting at a 50th of a second on the shutter speed. I'm usually shooting wide open, whether that's 1.8 or 1.4, depending on what lens I'm using, and I'll be shooting at the lowest ISO that I can get away with. So usually that's going to be 100. So I'll set my camera to those settings, put it in the right position, and then I'll turn my key light on. And then I'll adjust the brightness and position of my key light depending on how it looks on the camera. And don't be lazy. Do a little test, take the SD card out your camera, into your computer, have a look at it. If it's not right, then change it again. Also, it's important to get the height of the key light right if you're looking for a good catch light in your eyes. A catch light essentially is a reflection of your key light in your eyes, and the bigger your light source, the better that catch light is going to be. And just for reference, in this video, I'm using the SL60W, a cheap cob light, and a Godox softbox, which is about 60 centimeters wide, I think. And I have got that honeycomb on the front of that softbox, which directs that light a little bit more, so I don't get all that spill. Also, I like to have my key light off to one side and shooting at an angle, probably shooting down at me from about 45 degrees. This will give me a really nice soft look, and it gives me the Rembrandt effect, which is essentially this little triangle of light in my eyes. It just makes your scene look more dynamic. Now the next thing I'm going to do is set up my hair light, or my rim light. It's a light which essentially lights up the back portion of your head. Usually you can use it in a couple of different ways, but this is how I like to use it. Now with the hair light, I like to position it on the opposite side to my key light. So at the moment my key light is up to this side, my hair light is off to this side. So they're almost in a line diagonally across me. That way, this side of my face is being illuminated by my key light, and that side of my face is being illuminated by the hair light. As for me, I use the Welight Ninja 300 for my hair light, which is just something that I had lying around. You can pretty much get away with using anything, even like a small LED panel. You will just have to change the distance that it is away from you and adjust the power to compensate. I would say a light that's got a bit of direction control, a bit of beam control, maybe even focus is the best, but generally you can get away with anything. And it's the one thing that really makes you stand out from your background. If you turn that hair light off and it just looks a bit mushy, if you get that hair light on, you're going to stand out. So now we have our key light in place and our hair light in place. We need to balance the two to make sure that one isn't overpowering the other. Depending on what hair light you're using, you may need to adjust the power. On my hair light, I've got that set on 1% power, which is more than enough to create this lovely halo effect around my head. You might have to turn that up or down, but you have to balance it really well with your key light. Essentially, you just want this side of your head to glow a little bit. It's as simple as that. So once you've done that, you've got a very well balanced shot. Anything else you add into that scene afterwards isn't going to affect your key light and your hair light too much. You can go mad if you want. You can see in this shot, I've just got these 3 frames illuminated behind me, but you can put lamps up, you can put LED panels up, you can put spotlights up. The world really is your oyster. But what I would say is that less is more. Chucking every single different colored light that you've got into the background of a shot is not going to make it look good. If you're going to mix colors, then use complementary colors. colours that are on the opposite side of the colour spectrum. Teal and orange work really great, it's a really popular look. What you don't want to do is add daylight coloured bulbs, tungsten coloured bulbs, blue, green, pink, orange. It's just not gonna look great. Keep it simple, keep it consistent, and you're going to end up with a great looking shot. Also, what you want to do is try and keep the light sources about 6 to 8 feet away from you, if possible. You don't want those light sources to affect your main shot and interfere with your key light and your hair light. And once you've got to this stage, all you really need to do is play around and decide what looks best. If you've got any questions about this setup or that setup, please let me know in the comment section below and I'll definitely get back to you. And if there's something you want me to go into in more detail, let me know. I'll make a video about it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again very soon. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video.